Preston North End were English football's first big powerhouse club. In many ways, the Manchester City of the Victorian era, the first champions of England, the first team to win a double, and in fact, the first team to go invincible. But since the 1960s, they haven't had a sniff of top-flight football at all, and this season marks their 65th without a place at English football's top table. I'm going to give myself 10 seasons to restore Preston to glory, and it's going to be a challenge. We arrive at a club where the board have the lowest possible expectations, almost as though they've given up all hope, wanting us to avoid relegation from the Championship. We find an ageing squad without any real potential, and our transfer budget for the Championship is somewhat pathetic. So I've got to rebuild Preston on a shoestring, turn them back into champions of England. 10 seasons might not be enough. Our first window was really spent scrabbling for free agents and loans. We brought in Ryan Fredericks, doesn't show his old clubs, I believe former West Ham right back. I don't know why it's not showing his old clubs. Former West Ham right back Ryan Fredericks, Scottish, 32 years old, should be in their squad. Don't know why he isn't, but he's coming in to fill in a spot at right back. Jadel Katongo comes in on loan from Manchester City. He is a right back but can play centre half. Hopefully he'll be a contributor for us. Nathan Redmond, of course, big name, former Burnley, Besiktas, Southampton, Norwich and Birmingham star. He's coming in, and again, another experienced player, does have an England cap, but it's the best we can do is bring in experienced players on frees. Isaac Smith comes in as a young centre-half on loan from Manchester City as well. We then add Jaden Heskey to add some bite to our midfield. Son of Emil Heskey, hopefully he's got that same kind of passion and ability because we're going to need it. And our final signing is Mariano Barrero, an Argentine centre-half, central midfielder who joins us from Hapoel Beersheva in Israel on a free, having previously played for Racing Club and a whole bunch of other teams in Argentina. So we're going to be lining up in a 4-3-3. This is our best 11 for the season. And to be honest, it's not very good. Not very good at all. But let's see how we get on. We've just got to avoid relegation in Season 1. I think we can pull it off. By January, things were looking good in the league. After 30 games played, we're on 45 points, sitting in 12th in the table. And I added to the squad, Patrick Bamford joins us on a free transfer to give us a little more strike force up top. And Ben Chrisen joins us on a loan from Norwich to give us some extra strength at left back. And by the end of the season, we are sitting pretty in 13th, fully safe from relegation. We also made it to the 5th round of the FA Cup, where Liverpool put us out after a massive 6-3 game. Absolute all action all the time. But our top performers this season are two loanees. Jebison and Dobbin have got 21 and 16 goals respectively. Nathan Redmond chipping in with 14 goals from 47 appearances for us. And if we sort by average rating, Ryan Fredericks is our top performer across the season, over 32 appearances with a 7.38. Andrija Vukovic is there as well, the other fullback on the left-hand side. Traditionally, he has 31 games played and a 7.36 rating. And leading way on the assist is defensive midfielder Ben Whiteman. But the board aren't exactly backing us because we've got £106,000 to spend in the summer. So there's going to be some sales, so I can buy some players. Going into Season 2, we pick up some real quality from the get-go. Dennis Sirkin, a left-back, joins us on a free transfer from Sunderland at the end of his contract to strengthen us at left-back. But we also have Will Ferry joining us from Dundee United for £2.3 million. Two Irish left-backs fighting out for one berth. It's going to provide a little bit of drama this season. Toby Oluwayemi joins us from Celtic as well. He has come in for the massive sum of £725,000. And yes, you're doing math in your head. We can't afford these players. We'll get to the outs in a second. But he's going to become a very, very effective player for us. Striker Ronnie Moncur joins us from Tottenham for £350,000. Very much one to develop for the future. Freddie Potts joins us on loan from West Ham to strengthen the defensive midfield. Centre-half Kennedy Boateng, the Togolese international, 22 caps, joins us on a free transfer from Steaua Bucharest. Welsh international Niall Huggins joins us on a free transfer from Sunderland as well. He can play both flanks and will primarily be our right back this season. Italian centre-half Kevin Bonifazi joins us on a free transfer from Bologna. Alejandro Gomez Rodriguez joins us on a loan from Lyon for the season. He'll be great for us up front. Isak Saleh joins us as another midfield option. He comes into us from Slavia Sofia on a free transfer. Jadel Katongo joins us permanently and goes out on loan to Reading. And to round out an enormous transfer window for us, Yusuf Demir, former FM wonderkid, joins us on a free transfer. 4 caps for Austria, joins us on a free transfer from Galatasaray at the end of his contract. So we've got real firepower coming from the wings now as well. To make room for those guys, Mariano Barrero has gone to Middlesbrough for 3.6 million of pure profit. Mads Freukier has gone to Lyngby for 550k, and Andrija Vukovic has gone to San Luis for £500,000. Milutin Osmaic has gone to Las Palmas for £400,000. Paul Valentin has gone to Elche for 240k. Jordan Thompson joins Frosinone for 150k, and Jack Walton joins Blackburn for 145k. We've also let Caden Kamara go to Arezzo for 15.75k. Few others have gone out there this window, and in the previous, or the start of the window, Odella Fire joined Stoke for £1.8 million. Steve Wesley joined Swansea for £17,500 to give us a really good lineup for this season. Because now our best 11 for the season looks like this, and it is much, much stronger. I forgot to mention, we've also brought in Miles Peart-Harris on a free from Brentford. He goes straight into our starting 11 as well. Very, very good central midfielder pickup. Always available on free at the end of the first season as well. If you want a tip for your games, definitely go pick him up. And I also forgot to mention that Daniel Gore had come in on a free from Manchester United. You've seen me use him before. I'm a big fan of Daniel Gore, and he can develop into a top player. The board this season want us to become an established championship side, which, to be honest, is pretty much Preston's entire story for the last 6 decades. But the media think we'll be lucky to stay up, having us in 18th place at the start of the season. And by January, we sit 3rd in the championship on a very, very good run this season, 5 points off of leaders Hull. The only transfer business we did in January was a couple of loans out for some of our players. In January, we added 2 more loans to the squad. Caelan Vickers comes in on loan from Brighton to provide extra players on the wings. And Daniel Jebberson returns on loan for the second half of the season because I wanted more goals. And we finished the championship season promoted in 2nd place, just 3 points behind Leeds United. Absolutely massive, massive turnaround for us. But that wasn't all, because in March we took a trip to Wembley to play Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final just a week after they'd knocked us out of the FA Cup. And, we opened the scoring with a goal from Nathan Redmond. Not a bad way to start your first trip to Wembley on FM26, I would say. And then we held on till the 88th minute when Liverpool got a good attack. But then, we decided that we weren't quite done yet with 1-0. So Daniel Jebberson made it 2. And at this point, you think everything's done. You've got one hand on an unlikely trophy. And then we find ourselves heading into the 98th minute of the game, and Liverpool looked very much like they'd given up until they hadn't. Because Florian Wirtz has a shot, Alexis McAllister puts it away, and none of that matters because we beat Liverpool 2-1 to win the Carabao Cup. We're going to be in Europe in our first season in the Premier League. Our top performers in this magical season, well, Alejandro Gomez-Rodrigo got 16 goals from 32 appearances. Yusuf Demir found 14 goals and 7 assists in 50 appearances, and in 47 appearances, Nathan Redmond again up there with 22 goal contributions, just to round out a really good season. If we look at the assists, Thierry Small, who is developing nicely as a left-back for us, he played 53 games and got 13 assists as well as 9 goals. Just to make things really exciting for us. Sirkin, Pert Harris and Redmond all on 10, and our top-rated player, well, if we ignore Alex Younger, was Caelan Vickers, who came in as a loanee, of course, in January on a 7.37 from 14, and Daniel Jebison added a 7.33 from 12 appearances, with 5 goals and 4 assists, to pick up exactly where he left off with us. So, going into Season 3, we have £29.76 million to spend and just shy of £20 million per year to spend on wages. It's time to do some upgrades, ready for the Premier League. Now, as you may expect, the media are expecting us to get annihilated in the Premier League this season. 1,000 to 1 odds, 20th place is our predicted finish. And naturally, we signed Daniel Jebison as a priority, £1.4 million to make his move permanent from Bournemouth. A pretty good deal for a guy who has scored quite a lot of goals for us while we've been here. We also added Femi Fepetu on a free from Manchester City. Goalkeeper Jack Wint, also on a free from Manchester City. Frankie Runnan on a free from Chelsea. Santiago Castaneda on a free from Paderborn. Finn McAllister on a free from Manchester United. Ethan Ennis, also on a free from Manchester United. Dane Scarlett joins on a free from Tottenham. Harvey Davis joins on a free from Liverpool. Luke Chambers also joins on a free from Liverpool. Sammy Braybrook comes on a free from Leicester. Jeremy Sarmiento joins us on a free from Brighton. Goalkeeper Pavlo Ishenko joins us on a free transfer from Universitatea Craiova in Romania. I can never pronounce that name. Andy Irving, Scottish international, joins us on a free from West Ham. Finn Burns comes in on a free from Manchester City. Kelechi Iheanacho joins us on a free transfer from Celtic. Matty Warhurst comes on a free from Manchester City. And Dante Waite joins us on a free from Chelsea. We also added Taylor Harwood-Bellis for £4.4 million from Southampton, Brendan Aronson for £7 million from Birmingham, Tim Iroegbanan joins us for £2 million from Everton, Kenshin Yasuda joins us on a free from Oita Trinita in Japan, Juan Larios joins us for £10 million from Southampton, Radek Vitek joins us for £1 million from Manchester United, and Jun Nagai joins us on loan from Cerezo Osaka. And how do we pay for all this? Well, we sold Will Ferry. That's a confusion. We sold Will Ferry to Rangers for £3.4 million. Tyler Onyango, who we'd signed on a free earlier, goes for just over £500,000 to Oxford. And Stefan Tita Bordarsen joins Middlesbrough for £190,000. There were a couple of other sales in there. I can't show them to you because for some reason the game just does not let us do that. Who knows? But big sales were made all around. Which means our theoretical best 11 now looks like this. Everson, McCann and Pert Harris are out on loan. If we just do a quick pick though, I see Ishenko goes in goal and he's actually a better keeper. Harwood-Bellis is playing at right back. Gibson has come on leaps and bounds for us since we got here. He just keeps getting better and better. Could well be a Premier League quality defender. We've also got Iroegbanan in the first team, Ennis in the first team, Jebison starts up top, and our bench is much stronger than it's ever been before. But the big question is, can we survive the Premier League? Well, by the end of the January window, we were sitting in 17th with 23 points, ahead of Brentford on goals scored. But we had reinforcements. Bastian Moyepu joins us for £11.75 million from Alverca in Portugal. Datro Fofana joins us for a bargain £2 million from Chelsea, where he was on the transfer list. We then went in for 3 players from Vissel Kobe. Mohamed Al-Mahidib joins us, a young striker. His price tag £4.6 million. Arat Kikuchi cost us £2.5 million. And Shota Hanu cost us £2.4 million. Filippo Reale joins us from Roma for £3.9 million. Anton Matkovic cost 4.8 million from Osijek. And to complete our Japanese acquisitions, Harui Fujiyoshi joins us on loan from Greuther Fürth. And to help with the financing, we let one of our youth intake, Ian Lawson, go to QPR for £625,000. The scouts still think he can be good, but I need the money now. And at the end of the season, we have managed to hold on to our 17th place in the league, finishing 4 points ahead of relegated West Ham, Leeds and Ipswich, who all finished the season on 28. And our first trip to Europe went well as well. First, we played Midtjylland, beat them 2-0 at home, followed by 2-0 away to qualify for the Europa League proper. We then beat Panathinaikos 2-0, HJK Helsinki 4-1, lost 2-0 away at Brann, beat Hartberg 5-1 away from home, drew 1-1 with Napoli, and beat Neman Grodno 1-0 to progress out of the group phase. In the round of 16, we went to Go Ahead Eagles and beat them 3-0 before they beat us 2-1 at our place, which put us in the quarter-final against Napoli, where we won 3-2 in Naples and drew 1-1 at Deepdale. And then we got to the semi-final of the UEFA Conference League, where Nice beat us 3-1 at home, and we beat them 3-1 away from home, and they unfortunately made it through to the final on penalties. And in terms of stats, Aronson gets 18 goals in 49 appearances for us. Kelechi Iheanacho plays 46 times and scores 16 goals for us. On the assists, it's all about Andy Irving, 9 assists, 7 goals as well, so 16 total goal contributions in 48 games. Noel Huggins also getting 8 assists from right back, and Aronson also chipping in with his fair share. Nobody quite getting over a 7 average rating, but Huggins and Harwood Bellis being up there does tell its own story for the season. Same with Thierry Small, who very often plays at fullback for us. Those guys, but in fact our top 4 guys in average rating being defenders, really does tell you a story of the season. 5th is our goalkeeper. So for our second season in the Premier League, we've got no wage budget to play with, but we do have 36.5 million in transfer budget, so we can play around a bit. And when I say play around a bit, we started our shopping in Japan again, signing Thailand's goalkeeper, Paiboon Makmi. He's only 18 years old. He joins us for 1.7 million from Vissel Kobe and looks like he's got some potential. He was joined on the plane from Japan by Hiroaki Yoshida. He joins us for £1.5 million from Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Wonderkid Kasper Potolski joins us for the absolute bargain price of £1.9 million from Mainz. He is one of the best young defenders on the game this year. Matteo Forni, a defensive midfielder, 20 years old, joins us for £1 million from Roma. 2 players coming from Junior in Colombia. Elio Caldera is a central defender. He cost us the massive sum of £950,000 and looks very, very good. 20 determination, always beautiful to see. And we also signed his partner in their central defence, Alex Falandia, 18 years old, not quite as good at the determination, but he only cost us $825k. Pretty good pair of players for 1.7 million, if you ask me. Don't worry though, I did spend some real money. James Wilson joins us from Hearts. He cost us £11.25 million, but he looks like he's got potential to be an absolutely world-class striker. And then Ramiro Villalba, an 18-year-old striker from Argentina, came in, and you can probably tell he's got some big potential from his current valuation. We signed him from Boca Juniors for £15.25 million, and I don't think that's a gamble. I think he looks like a future Ballon d'Or winner. We also added right back Alan Moso from Guadalajara, Mexico international. He cost us just £1.7 million. But I think he's a very good option. I know he's 31, but that bit of experience could really help us out in the Premier League. Marc Bernal joins us on loan from Barcelona just to shore up the midfield with another youngster. Left-back Christian Kammer joins us on a free from Roma, very much one for the future. And £5.75 million secures right-winger who looks incredible already. 5-cap Serbian international, 18 years old, Dragan Vasiljevic from Crvena Zvezda. On the outs, Daniel Iverson, the goalkeeper, finally leaves us for £12.25 million to join Charlton permanently. Ben Whiteman goes to Birmingham for £2 million. He's apparently learned to play goalkeeper somewhere. Kevin Bonifazi joins Almeria for £800,000, but it's a pretty good profit for a guy we signed for nothing. And another youngster, Ben Gordon, gets sold to Stoke for £700k. The media think we've got a worse team this year than we did last year, 2,000 to 1, and still predicted to finish bottom. The board just want us to survive in the Premier League. And our best 11 for the season looks a lot like this. Ashenko straight in goal. He insists on wearing a number 7 shirt. I'm not being weird. We've got Bernal playing at the base of the midfield behind Eero Ekmanam and Irving. Vasiljevic straight in at right wing. Sarmiento and Fofana completing our front three. We look really, really dangerous this year. And so in January, we found ourselves in 15th when the transfer window shut. We are 6 points clear of Sunderland after 25 games. Wolves, by the way, somehow having yet another awful season, just mirroring real life. And we've recruited well in January. Mamadou Sarr joins us on loan from Chelsea to help our defence. Andre Santos signs on a permanent from Chelsea for $8.25 million, and he's starting to look like a very good footballer. And $2.4 million brings in Facundo Buonanotte from Brighton after he was transfer listed. We also said goodbye to another youngster as Alex Younger joins Sunderland for $12.75 million. And I think he's actually playing for them, only in cups, but I think he has played football this season. I didn't think he looked that good, but they see something in him. Happy days for them, happy days for us. I haven't got time to be developing youngsters. But come the end of the season, we have finished in 11th place, 50 points, level with Brighton, only behind them on goal difference. And we're right up there in the mix. We're ahead of Newcastle at this point, and we're only 3 points behind Manchester United, and within touching distance of European football. In terms of our best players, Datro Fofana has 13 goals in 36 appearances. Jeremy Sarmiento has made 37 appearances and scored 12 goals for us. Dragan Vasiljevic has 9 goals, 8 assists in 36 appearances. Topping the assist chart, though, still Andy Irving with 9 out of 34 appearances. And on average rating, well, Juan Larios is barely playing, but he's doing well. Of the regular performers, Andre Santos came in January, turned our season around, a 7 average rating in his 15 appearances, and he's actually kind of knocked Andy Irving out of the team. So we have got a lot of room to grow. And the budget for next season is just a casual £37.75 million, but only £1 million in wage budget to spend. So a bit more wheeling and dealing incoming. Going into Season 5, the media have got a bit more faith in us. They put us at 15th in their pre-season predictions. The board still want us to avoid relegation from the Premier League. And I open my transfer business for the summer with Abdoulaye Faye, a Senegalese international, 4 caps, joins us from Bayer Leverkusen for £7.25 million. He's joined by Julian Ryerson for £1 million from Spurs. Brazilian striker Marcos Leonardo joins us on a free transfer from Al Hilal, and I think this lad's probably one of the best strikers in the world in real life, even if he's not had a chance to show it in Europe for a little while. Went to Al Hilal for $34 million, played for Benfica before that and tore up Brazil, but I think he's quality, and he's ours now. But Nikola Vlasic has also joined us on a free from Torino. Gustavo Sá joins us on a free transfer from Famalicão in Portugal. Risto Kulikov, an Estonian international, joins us on a free transfer from Manchester City. Left winger Giannis Konstantelias, and a Greek international, he's joined us on a free from PAOK Saloniki. Fredrik Bredal is the latest off the Nordsjælland production line, a right winger who cost us nothing. Left winger Vincent Clement is another one for the future, joins us on a free from PSG. Harry Amas joins us on loan from Manchester United to fill in for us at left back, but we do have an option on him for a transfer should we wish to make it, which is set at, if I can remember where to find it, I think it was £11 million it was set at. We also picked up his United teammate Aidan Heaven on a free transfer. German defender David Adogu joins us on a free transfer from AC Milan. Archie Stevens joins us on a free transfer from Derby County. Argentinian Gianluca Prestiani joins us on a free transfer from Benfica, and his value is immense for a 23-year-old. Thomas Gillier joins us as a goalkeeper, a Frenchman on a free from Bologna. Samuel Elling Jr. joins us on a free from Aston Villa. We went back to Manchester United again for Diogo Dalot on a free transfer. Carles Elena joins us on a free transfer from Alaves. Goalkeeper Aaron Yakubishvili joins us on a free transfer from Barcelona. 23 years old, 28 caps for Hungary already, and I think he looks incredible, bearing in mind he's probably still got 8 years till he peaks. Don't worry, I did spend some money. Nenad Maximovic joins us for a massive fee. The Montenegrin international joins us from Slavia Prague and cost me all of £47,500. I then continue my big spending. Emmanuel Uchenna Ariere, I'll never pronounce his name either. Nigerian international joins from Sparta Prague, £64,000. Floyd Samba cost me £1.3 million from Manchester City. Oh, and I signed this other fella from City, one of his teammates. You might not have heard of him. Abere Eze? Do we know Abere? He's signed for us from Manchester City. 15 caps for England, 1 goal, £16 million for Abere Eze. I think this might be the bargain of the year on FM. I don't think you would get a better player for a better price than I've signed Abere Eze for. On the outs, Ronnie Moncur goes to Wimbledon for £1 million. Pavlo Ashenko joins Universitatea Craiova, goes back to Universitatea Craiova for just over £500,000 after we signed him from them for free. Kenshin Yasuda goes to Vissel Kobe for just over £1 million. It was £1.2 million after we had him for a year. James Wilson goes to Al Najma in Saudi for £11 million. We did take a slight loss, but he hardly played for us. Isaac Saleh goes to Al Khalij. He cost us no pounds, goes to Saudi for £10 million. Great profit on him. We did take a loss on Bastien Mopiu, though. Goes to Paris FC. We paid a lot for him. He's gone for £6.25 million, so basically half what we paid for him, but he just couldn't get in our team. Kelechi Iheanacho goes to Real Salt Lake for £2 million a year after we signed him on a free from Celtic. Radek Vitek goes to Bournemouth for £1.2 million. Yusuf Demir goes to Konyaspor for £550,000. And Taylor Harwood-Bellis has left us on loan to Everton, but there is a future transfer arranged for him. I do not know where you find the fee on here, but it's somewhere around £16 million. So our best 11 for the season, including people I've sent out on loan for more experience, looks like this. Harwood-Bellis, of course, on that loan to Everton. Kikuchi has gone out on loan as well to Sunderland for the season. I didn't see him as our starting striker this year. Sunderland are in the Premier League, so if he's going to start there, that's good for us. But we have got so many options up front, Marcos Leonardo and Vlasic. It didn't make a lot of sense to keep them all around. May as well loan out the younger one, play the older ones, and get all of the benefit from it. So that's what we're going to do this season. And by January, we're sitting in 14th in the table, 26 points, level with Forest and Palace, a point behind Southampton, couple of points behind Leicester. But we've been busy, as always, because January saw Harry Amas confirmed for £13 million from Manchester United. Arseny Batahov, a Ukrainian international centre-half, joins us from Besiktas for £18.75 million. Ivan Solozhov, a German, joins us for £7.75 million from FC Nuremberg. He's 19 years old and 4-star ability already as a left-back. Rodrigo Bentancur joins us from Spurs for £11.5 million. Vinicius Gabriel, a defensive midfielder from Brazil, he joins us from Atletico Mineiro for £10.5 million, and at 19 again, just looks very, very good. And Gabriel Moscardo, another Brazilian defensive midfielder, 4-star ability, 4.5-star potential at 24 years old. He joined us on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. Now, we obviously made some sales to pay for all this. Facundo Buonanotte joins River Plate for £7.25 million. Andy Irving joins Celtic for £2.6 million. Juan Larios joins Rayo Vallecano for £4.9 million. Jadel Katongo joins Portsmouth for £500,000. And to free up some wages, Datro Fofana has joined Torino on loan for the rest of the season. And with those new signings, come the end of Season 5, we are 8th in the table, narrowly missing out on Europe by 4 points to Everton, but recording our best finish so far, and this team is really going places. As demonstrated by the fact we made it to the FA Cup final, losing narrowly 3-2 to Manchester City. I know you're thinking, that should qualify us for the Europa League, but for some reason, it didn't. Either way, slightly reduced budget for this season, £15.09 million, £5.28 million in wages. There is a reason we've got a low transfer budget, though. If we go into our club history, our chairman withdrew his funding at the end of last season, so we're just on a wing and a prayer at this point. So, Season 6, and the media have got us predicted to finish 11th this season. Yet, hilariously, the board still don't believe we're an established Premier League team. And I started my transfer window by fundraising as Jeremy Sarmiento joined Independiente del Valle for a whopping fee of £3.4 million. Ethan Ennis joins Hull for £1.2 million. Sammy Braybrook joins Millwall for £500,000. Finn Burns joins Watford for £2.1 million. Santiago Castaneda joins Wolfsburg for £3 million. Julian Ryerson joins Sporting for £3.8 million. Luke Chambers, the left-back we signed from Chelsea all those years ago, from Liverpool all those years ago on a free and never played, joins Hull for £5.5 million. Thierry Small, who was here when we joined the club, I think is a youth product of Preston North End. He's not, but we sold him for £13.5 million regardless, because the Premier League was probably a step beyond him, in truth. And Taylor Harwood Bellis finally joined Everton for £17.5 million to make his move permanent. So I set to work building my dream team of Manchester United rejects. Jadon Sancho joined us on a free transfer from Real Madrid. Bruno Fernandes, at 35 years old, joined us on a free, having left Manchester United at the end of his contract in the summer, and he still looks pretty good. And we also signed one of their youngsters. Slady Dearman is an England international at just 20 years old. Doesn't actually look that good either on current ability or attributes, but he's an England international nonetheless. And he signed for us for £22.5 million from Manchester United. They made a quick turnaround on him. And I figured we had some cash to spend, so we'd spend it. But they're not our only signings. Kush Jayden Dans comes in from Liverpool on a free transfer. Luka Topalovic joins us on a free transfer from Inter. John Melberg joins us from RB Salzburg for £23 million, 24-year-old Swedish centre-half with lots to add to the team. Ben Nelson joins us from Leicester for £26.5 million, and I think he looks very good as well. Roberto Riasco joins us from Liga de Quito. He is an Ecuadorian international left back. I'll put my teeth in, it'll be fine. Looks very good already at 18. He's cost us £2.5 million. I sent him back out on loan for the rest of the season in Ecuador, so till December, just to get him playing, but I think he looks very good. I also spent £3.6 million to sign Brian Bautista, a Uruguayan international, 19 years old, from Nacional. And again, he's gone back there until Christmas on loan to help him develop. We're very much in just sign and develop young talent mode at this stage, because Lennox Emery has also joined us for £200k from Colchester, stays there for the season on loan. Our scouts thought he looked very good, but now they don't. We don't know why. But £200k for a fella that can play anywhere gives him a chance to go and develop a bit more. He's been doing okay in League 2. I guess we'll see if he turns into anything other than profit. And so with all that talent in the squad, by January we find ourselves sitting in 11th, level on points with Manchester United in 10th, ahead of Everton and Blackburn, and not terribly far outside of European potential places, as Liverpool sit just 9 points ahead of us in 6th. I did more business as Thomas Juillet left the club to join Torino back to Italy, 1.8 million, easy profit, lovely jubbly. Arseny Batahov never really established himself in our team properly since joining, so we've sold him to Olympiacos for 10.75 million. It's an £8 million loss, but we're okay for now. Datro Fofana finally leaves the club to join Al Fayha in Saudi, of course, 7.75 million. Somehow he's managed to play one game, score one goal, and still have a 5.9 average rating, and he didn't get sent off, so answers on a postcard. David Adogu joins Borussia Dortmund, one of our centre-halves, 24 years old. We signed him for free and sold him for £28 million. Ignore that value, that's still good business. The fellow whose name I can't pronounce, he has left us to join Al Hazem in Saudi for a casual 1.9 million. Not a bad profit for a lad who cost us 60k. And Abdoulaye Faye goes to Al Sadd in Saudi for 9.25 million. It's a £2 million profit. He only really played as a reserve for us, so I can't complain too much about that turnaround either. But you want to know who came in, and it's more wonderkids. Matteo Schau is from Internacional. He's coming on loan. He is going to sign for us on a permanent, but I, again, cannot remember how I find out what I'm paying. £10.5 million. There we go. £10.5 million is what we're actually going to sign him for, but he's currently with us on loan, and he looks very, very good for 19 years old. Andres Rivera joins us for 2.3 million from Universidad de Chile. Chilean, 19 years old, 2 caps. Already looks decent. He's staying out on loan to develop, but he should develop into a quality player. And like I said, for 2.3 million, you can't complain. His value has shot up just by joining us, and he looks like he could be very special. Now, £3.3 million bought German Alves from Peñarol in Uruguay. He's not an international yet, but he is a striker. He does look very good. Does look like he's got big potential. 16 finishing, 14 composure. The lad should score goals. Leading him in Uruguay to score goals for another season is not a problem for us. And to be fair, his return so far since breaking into the Peñarol team, 4 goals in 10 his first season, 5 in 6 his second season, and he's already had an 8.2 since rejoining on loan from us after we signed him. And naturally we went back to Manchester United to sign this right back for the future, 20 years old, Carlo Lowry with a weird mohawk. He's cost us a lot of money from Manchester United, £11 million, but I don't think we can go wrong with this kid. He looks really good. He's 20 years old. He's got loads of room to grow. Could be very special. Christian Parada is another Chilean international 19-year-old we've signed, a midfielder who can play essentially defensive or central mid. 3 caps for Chile, playing for Universidad Católica, £2.2 million back out on loan for the rest of their season, just again to get him developed. But he will develop very nicely, I would imagine, with that 15 determination. Everything else is already in a good range for 19. He should grow into a good player. Now, Carlos Diaz is a goalkeeper who joins us for Atlético Nacional. He is Colombian, £900,000. He's gone on loan to Rheindorf Altach in Austria's Bundesliga to get some more experience because he couldn't get a work permit. But I think he'll grow into a great goalkeeper as well. But don't worry, I did spend big in January. Meet Rian Costa. 20-year-old Brazilian centre-half, 3-star ability, 4, maybe 5-star potential, 16 tackling, 16 marking, 16 heading. Yes, his jumping reach is suspect because he's 5'10", but 15 determination, 16 anticipation, 16 decisions, 14 pace, 13 positioning. What more do you want in a centre-half? Worth 47 to 54 million pounds immediately after signing from Palmeiras. We paid £17.25 million for him. I am very, very happy with this deal, and I think he's going to become one of the best centre-halves on the planet. But I wasn't done yet, because I also brought in Jordi Maquillo on loan from Arsenal for free. He's costing me nothing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of business, and we're very happy to have him strengthening our ranks. Same with Aran Puigros, a defender who can play all across the back line. He's with us on loan from Barcelona. 2.5-star ability, potential to get to 4.5 stars. If he doesn't, it doesn't matter, but it gives me a chance to have an extended look at him, and if he looks good for us, we'll sign him. And finally, I realised for the Premier League, I needed a very, very quick striker. Meet Uchenna Ogundo. 33 caps for Nigeria, 25 goals, 24 years old, 18 pace, 17 acceleration. Yes, his finishing is 13, his composure is 14, and maybe he could be a little bit better, but he cost us £0 after Al Ittihad released him. And frankly, with those goal returns, I absolutely could not turn this fella down. Looks like an absolute star. And actually, if you really look into it, maybe worth a little look for a cheeky signing on your save. I'm just saying, might be a little bit good, and probably you can get him early doors in the saves for not a lot of money. So just a little tip from behind the scenes there. But Uchenna Ogundo looks like an incredibly good signing for a freebie. And with those signings in the door, we went on to finish the season in 11th. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking this is not progress, you've gone backwards, but our job is completely safe at this point. We are in no danger whatsoever of being fired because the board loves us. They still don't think we're an established Premier League team. So I deliberately spent a year bringing in younger players, so over the next couple of seasons, we can start building a real challenger of a team by developing our own wonderkids. And you can't say it's not paying off for us, because this is the FA Cup final at Wembley against Tottenham, and well, just have a little feast of your eyes on this, because Uchenna Ogundo got through to score the only goal of the game to win Preston the FA Cup for the first time in well over half a century. Yet another trophy ticked off for us. And so with Europa League football confirmed for next season, we now have an extra £16 million to spend, but again, we're going to have to sell to buy because we've got no wages. But European football attracts big names, and to be fair, our team at the moment is already doing a very good job. If we look at the goals, Jayden Dan's got 18 goals from 34 appearances, joining us on a free from Liverpool. Dragan Vasiljevic has 18 goal contributions in 39 games. And Uchenna Ogundo is averaging a goal every other game and has an assist and a 7.14 rating. We're looking very good. Talking of assists, it is Vasiljevic leading the way. Solovjov is also doing well. The now 20-year-old German, 6 assists from left-back. And in terms of ratings, well, Matteo Schau, he doesn't look expensive now. 7.25 rating from 17. 22 appearances for Riasco once his loan ended. Also a 7.25. And he's learned to also play right back. Solovjov on a 7.16. Ogundu on a 7.14. Nelson on a 7 after 28 appearances. Jayden Dan also doing a 7. We are very much developing a side here. But let's see who's going to help them out. Because for season 7, the media think we're going to finish in 8th place in the table. We are 50-1 to be champions. But we do have a player in the Dream 11. We'll meet him properly in a second. Because the board still don't believe we're an established Premier League team. This is, what, season 5 in the Premier League? I don't know how established they want us to be. But we also have the Community Shield, which of course we have played in, where unfortunately Tottenham got some revenge and beat us 1-0. So we lose out on the Community Shield, but really we're not going to lose any sleep over it. New signings? Well, Gustavo Minakawa has joined us. He's a Brazilian international at the age of just 20, centre-half, 3.5 current ability, probably 5-star potential, 20 determination, 17 for marking, 19 for jumping reach. He's 6'4", 14 for his heading, 16 for his positioning, keeps getting better and better. £10 million from Ceará in the Campeonato Brasileiro Serie B. I imagine he'd have cost us more if they hadn't been relegated. I don't care. £10 million for this player is fantastic. Now, of course, Matteo Schau, you already knew was joining us. £10.5 million was his final transfer fee from Internacional. He is still developing very, very nicely. He was followed by the guy in the immediate Dream 11, Mariano Arecchia, an Argentine international goalkeeper, 7 caps for Argentina. He is very much Argentina's first-choice goalkeeper. At 20 years old, 4-star current ability, maybe 5-star potential ability. I'll let you enjoy his attributes for yourself. They are incredible for a 20-year-old goalkeeper. He joins us from Independiente for £18.75 million, and I think that's the best money I've spent or saved so far. But I still wasn't done. Meet Leon Disfeld, or Lion Disfeld, you can call him what you like, it doesn't matter. 21 years old, a Dutchman, a midfielder who plays mostly as a central or holding midfielder for us. 3.5-star current ability, potential for 5-star potential ability. Joins us from Pex Folla for just £14 million. I am European bargain hunting. And then when I bring in German international Said Al-Mala on a free transfer at 25, having left Köln, you know we're doing good business this summer. He's quick, he's everything I want in a wide player. £7.5 million brought in 18-year-old Norwegian international left-back Morten Kirkescheide. He came to us from Viking, and again, great piece of business, I think. He's a 6'6" left-back, 20 jumping reach, 11 heading, still has the ability to run, cross and dribble. We're going to slowly teach him to play centre-half this season, but if he doesn't figure it out, I'm sure we'll get over it. We also signed Ian Taylor, who is 18 years old, right-back, centre-back, defensive midfielder, 18 years old with a greying beard already, but you've got to love this man. He looks really, really good. Potential future England international, I believe. Said 18 years old from Charlton, cost us just £6 million. I think that's fantastic business. But of course, for us to sign players, people had to leave. Harry Amas has gone to West Ham on loan for the season. I don't think he's good enough for our team anymore. We've got at least 3 left-backs better than him now. Kasper Podolski hasn't been developing, so I've loaned him out to Middlesbrough. Hopefully he can have a season of playing regular first-team football. This is actually his 4th loan since joining us. We are just desperately hoping he'll kick on, because he should be a massive potential player and isn't achieving it whatsoever. Brian Bautista goes out for a season's loan, get some more experience into him. He's going to join Southampton for a season. He's going to be playing for them in the Premier League and is doing very, very well this season. But we've got so many midfielders, there just wasn't room to have him in our first team this year. One of our youth team, Kyle Gawley, joins Leeds for just under £1 million. I just didn't see his development happening at all. Giannis Konstantelias goes out on loan to Norwich, again just freeing up some wages. And again, he's playing in the Premier League, so it should help keep his value steady at £36 million when we do want to sell him. Carles Elena has gone back to Alaves. They paid us £1.6 million for a player we paid nothing for. He gave us a good season, but again, I've got so many midfielders now that I don't really need him, and he's 33. Christian Kammer joins Ipswich for £2.4 million. Again, another player we signed for free, who clubs have paid actual money to loan. I can't actually see it there. We can see it by hovering. They've paid us actual money to loan him out, and then Ipswich have just paid £2.4 million to make his loan permanent. And frankly, he was a freebie. Again, we've got lots of left-backs right now, and he wasn't really developing, so it was just easy money. Rodrigo Bentancur joins Brentford for £3.6 million. He now has 100 caps for Uruguay. And again, it was an easy decision. He's 34 years old. We have far too many central midfielders, and we had to make some room, and he was the easy choice. He was on big money, and we got a bid for him. Talking of big money and bids, Marcos Leonardo has left us for Al-Shabaab. He has gone for a grand sum of £9.25 million. Kind of fell out of favour with us towards the back end of last season. And it just made sense to move him on for a profit, because we've got many better strikers right now. And finally, Filippo Reale leaves us. He's gone to Blackburn for £12.75 million. He's had a lot of loans out as well. Again, he never really broke into our first team. Despite looking like he had good potential, it was just an easy turnover of profit for us, to be honest. And so at the end of January transfer window, we're sitting in 10th place with 25 games played, 36 points. Ahead of Everton, but also 7 points behind Chelsea and 11 points off of the European places at this stage. But it's a young side still developing. I'm not panicking too much about that at this stage. I am just continuing to develop it. So Diogo Dalot has left us to join Galatasaray. 32 years old now, £17 million for a player we signed for free. He's been a great servant to us, very consistent, but you can't turn down that money for a 32-year-old. And Gianluca Prestiani has gone to Boca for £20 million, essentially going back to them because we loaned him to them for money after we signed him for free. I thought it was his third spell. It's only his second spell, but yeah, £20 million for a guy who was just kind of a bit part player for us, just turned into easy profit. But that, of course, gave me room to add. Meet David Pereira, joins us from Barcelona. A lot of Barcelona players have joined us on loan this series, but here we go. He's a left wide forward / inside forward, 17 finishing, 15 composure, 16 determination, 17 flair, 17 stamina, 14 for pace and acceleration, 16 for agility and dribbling. Absolute worldie of a footballer at 22 potentially, and if it wasn't for his price tag, I'd have signed him permanently. What a player. But we're still keeping the young players coming in. Igor Stankovsky is an Australian international. Joins us from Melbourne City at 18 years of age. Defensive midfielder or centre-half. Just 1.2 million. Not even really that big a gamble, which is wild to say when you consider that was our entire transfer budget when we got here. And now I'm spending it speculating on youngsters for the future. Now, we also brought in a goalkeeper. Alan Lambert joins us from Gladbach. He's gone back there on loan, but again, looks like he's got some big potential for the future. He cost us just £3 million. I've also signed goalkeeper Charlie Hardy on loan from Manchester United. Essentially, all of my goalkeepers that are young are out on loan getting experience. So I've signed Charlie Hardy from Man United just to be a backup goalkeeper. But Dane Mazen Ismail joins us from Randers in Denmark, another 19-year-old, another striker, another player who looks very good, 6'6", again, 20 jumping reach, 16 finishing, can't head for toffee, I don't care, he's massive, just kick it in his face and hope it bounces in. He's costing us just £7.25 million and stays in Denmark for the rest of the season to develop, which I think makes him a bargain. But also, don't worry, I did spunk some ridiculous money on some players. So when I tell you I signed 22-year-old Spanish defensive midfielder Luis Mata for £45 million from Real Madrid, maybe don't be too surprised that I thought he was worth the money. I know not everything is in the green yet, but I don't think it'll be very long before it is. 17 determination almost guarantees he's going to hit that full 4-star potential and probably become a Spanish international. And 4-star potential for us is very, very good right now. But just in case, meet Konstantin Braunig, a central midfielder from Germany, 22 years old, with lots of green stats. I think it's safe to say lots of green stats, almost zero weaknesses in his game, aside from the fact he's useless in the air, which is fine because he's a midfielder, and he can't cross, which is fine because he doesn't play on the wing, and he's not great at shooting, but he's not here to attack. So we signed him from Werder Bremen for £60 million. Easily our biggest money signing so far. When you're signing a player for £60 million from the Zweite Bundesliga, you know you want that player. And yes, his value hasn't gone up by much, but I don't think it needs to. This kid is incredible. And so with all that money spent, we finished the season in 8th place in the table, heartbreakingly on goal difference behind Brentford, who got into the Europa Conference League. Exactly the same goals against. We scored 1 goal less. If we'd got 2 more goals at any point in the season, we'd be playing in Europe through the league this season. Lucky for us, though, that's not a problem, because we're playing in Europe through the FA Cup, because we beat Arsenal 2-1 in the FA Cup final to lift the FA Cup and take us to the Europa League. Except I just told you a massive fib. Because we also beat Arsenal on penalties to win the Europa League. Preston are playing in the Champions League for the first time in season number 8. Do you want to see these goals? I feel like you don't, because it's a penalty shootout. It will take. I would show you. You'll be able to download the save from Patreon. You can watch all those goals at your leisure. Don't you panic. But it was quite the run for us in the Europa League this season. So we went straight into the league phase, as you might imagine. Played, I think that's fake Steaua Bucharest, but I can never remember. Beat them 3-0. We then beat Genk 3-1, followed by Lyon 1-0, followed by Roma 2-1, followed by an incredible 5-all draw away at Punic, a team that I'm still not entirely sure where they are on the planet. I think it's Armenia, but I can't be bothered to look. We then played Trabzonspor and had a 4-2 win at home to the Turkish Giants. We then drew 3-all with Eintracht Frankfurt before a 3-0 win at home to Young Boys. Then in the round of 16, we played Wolfsburg and beat them 2-1 away and 2-1 at home. We then played Porto, drew 2-all at home, then beat them 3-0 away from home. We then played in the semi-final and lost 3-2 away at Real Sociedad, but we also beat them 2-0 at home to make it through to the final, which of course you've already seen. But sandwiched in between those games, we also beat Aston Villa 7-1, which kind of tells you we've come together as a team at this point. Yeah, it's been a season. It's been a season. So naturally, with 2 trophies in the bag in this season and the Champions League to play in for the first time, the board have backed us to the amazing tune of £19 million and an extra £3 million a year in wage budget, which is probably not enough to compete for the Champions League, let's be completely honest. But let's look at some transfers going into Season 8, shall we? So I decided to open my transfer window with a statement signing after releasing a bunch of out-of-contract players and shuffling around my wage budget. I managed to get Diego Garcia, a defensive midfielder from Argentina, Argentine international at 21 years old. He's joined us from Paris Saint-Germain for £49 million. Then, naturally, having blown my entire wage and transfer budget, I started looking at free transfers. So Castello Luqueba, French international centre-half, joins us on a free from RB Leipzig. You can't argue with a French international, and he's pretty good all around, even at 29. And then I spotted that Victor Osimhen was available on a free transfer, having left Leicester City, about which I also had questions. But he was available on a free, and he's Victor Osimhen. He's old, reliable, even at 33. I guess he's older, reliable in FM. But he's going to come in and give us a little bit of extra depth up top. 101 caps and 72 goals for Nigeria is immense. And then I started padding out the squad with some loans. So Ruben joins us on loan from Real Madrid. He's a left-back / defensive midfielder who looks pretty good for 22. I realised I didn't have anywhere near enough English homegrown players, so I signed a 36-year-old Ollie Watkins on loan from Aston Villa. 26 caps, 5 goals for England at this stage. He's not really good enough to be in our team, but I had a spot in my squad. I saw he was available for loan and figured why not? Which ironically is the same logic that saw me sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Burnley for £450,000. I had a space, I figured why not? I then signed this guy, Gufri Tarenks. He is a defensive midfielder from Barcelona. He's here on loan for the season. Another Barcelona loanee who looks like he's got a future in the game. With half an eye, or maybe we sign him at the end of the season. Still don't feel quite like I had enough homegrown players though, so I signed Eddie Nketiah. He's come in from Aston Villa for £3.7 million. Had a decent career there, but he's also played for Arsenal and Tottenham now in this universe. And Palace in between, which is perhaps a little bit controversial. But, you know, it's not my life, it's his. He'll do as extra backup. Now, did you think I was done spending money? Because I wasn't. Meet Nawaf Al-Saudi. He is an Emirati right winger. Have you ever seen an Emirati right winger this good? At 18, 16 caps already. He joins us from Al Jazeera, where he'll stay on loan this season for £7.5 million, and I think he's got a huge future ahead of him. But then I thought, why not buy a Portuguese player, a left winger, a 22-year-old with some potential to grow? with enough football. This is Valdemir Trovoada. He joins us from Chelsea for £14.25 million, and I think he's okay. It's a gamble because he's not played much football in his career. He's already 22. He has made a couple of appearances off the bench for us already this season, but he's quick with good determination. I think he just needs a run and he'll be fine. I also dropped £15.5 million on Adinho from Sao Paulo and left him in Brazil to get experience. Why not? A centre-half at 6 feet tall is incredible physically, very good mentally, just needs to work on his technicals, and where better to work on that than in Sao Paulo, to be honest. And then just to round things off, a 21-year-old Uruguayan international, Martin Araujo, 18 caps, 8 goals, 4-star current ability. Apparently no ability to grow, but does he need to? He's a striker with 18 finishing, 18 composure, 17 heading, 15 first touch, 14 anticipation, and 16 strength. He's a weapon. He doesn't need to get a single bit better, and he is a weapon for all time, quite frankly. He has already played 6 times for us and scored 3 goals. I don't think we need to worry too much about Martin Araujo's development. He comes in from Internacional for £23 million. Now, to make room for signings, of course, we had to sell. Saidi Dearman has left us, having never done anything for us. We only got £6.5 million back from it. It was a bit of a waste of cash in the end, but who cares, because he doesn't play for us anymore and we've got much better players. So we say goodbye to him. To be fair to him, he has grown. He just hasn't grown enough to be playing Premier League football. Aidan Heaven joins Fulham for £9.25 million. Again, never really developed for us. He did play a bit of football for us, not a lot. 6 league games, but he also was a regular in continental competitions and cups because he's homegrown. Did okay for us, had a loan at Burnley at the back end of last season as well, or for most of last season, it should be said, and just, yeah, he never really kicked on the way I thought he would. But sometimes you gamble and lose, and sometimes you still make a little bit of cash along the way. Aaron Yakovishvili has been sliding down the pecking order, so we've sold him to Arsenal as a backup goalkeeper. Was our first choice for a couple of seasons, then fell out of favour. Arsenal offered me £24.5 million for him, even at 26. He's not going to grow much more. I didn't feel like I could say no, so I didn't. And then finally, Giannis Konstantelias has joined Norwich permanently. He left us for £35 million in the end, which I think is good business because he was getting nowhere near this first team. And actually, we should talk about the first team because this is now our best 11. I realise I don't think I did a best 11 for last season, for which I apologise, but you'll get over. It's Orecchia in goal, who is still developing, still looking like a very good goalkeeper. 16 caps for Argentina now. It is Reasco who has moved to being a right back because I figured he's right-footed. I teach him it. He's now got 22 caps and 3 goals for Ecuador and just keeps getting better as well. Still only 20 years old. Minakawa goes in as our centre-half on the right. 8 caps for Brazil at this stage, and again is still improving immensely, still only 21. Lukeba goes in as our left-sided centre-half. I don't think he'd have been my first choice, but he still looks pretty good, because I think my first half for that position would be Rian Costa, who also keeps getting better and better and better. Now has 4 caps for Brazil. On the left-hand side, Solojov, the German, 18 caps now for the German national team. 4.5-star current ability. He's now 22, unbelievably. And he's incredible. Unbelievable signing. Bearing in mind, this lad signed for us a few years ago for just under £8 million from the German second tier. Is probably the best left-back on the planet by now. We also have Ruben, who is going in as the defence midfielder. Browning has been with us now for a year. 2 caps and a goal for Germany. And he was the guy we spent £60 million. I know he's not played a lot of football for us, but again, he was a long-term project. And he's getting better all the time. And to be honest, might need more games this season. He's joined by Luka Topalovic, the Slovenian international, who we've not really talked a lot about since he signed from Inter. But he's been steadily just kind of plodding along in midfield and looking very, very good along the way and is still improving, which is nice to see. Ahead of him, again, we haven't talked about in a while. Dragan Vasiljevic has been with us now for quite some time. This is his 5th season with the club since that £5.75 million move from Serbia. 38 caps, 8 goals, still developing at 22, still very much the first choice on that right-hand side. On the left-hand side is El Mala, who we had a look at, who was our free transfer. Had quite a few games for us after signing from Cologne last season, and again, his pace keeps him in the side, looking good. I know we've obviously seen Araujo up top. We also talked about John Mellberg, 34 caps, 2 goals for Sweden now, 26. A very good all-round player who looks very, very solid in his 3rd season at the club, has been a regular at the back. We are rotating our defenders quite often. Leon Disveld is growing. Don't know how he's not a Dutch international yet, but he looks phenomenal. Ignore the star ratings at this point. That's their star ratings for this side. Jaden Dans, for example, 3-star current ability, still developing, still 26, 7 caps now for England, has been scoring regularly for us, despite the fact he often plays on the left-hand side as a rule. You're probably also wondering about this guy, Mazen Ismail. He's now with us and has had a season of good development in Denmark. He'll play this season. Agundu still going strong for us now in his 3rd season. Oddly, not as prolific as we thought he was going to be. He's kind of got off the boil, but I have been mostly using him as a right winger rather than a striker, just because we've got so much good attacking talent in this team. You've seen Costa. Saar makes up the last of our players. He's been here for a while as well now. This is his 5th season at the club. Again, largely an ever-present on the team sheet somewhere, still growing, still Mr. Consistency. Very good team all round. In terms of what the media is saying for this season, the media think we should be looking to finish in 7th, which is fine. If we look at the overall team of the season, we have got exactly 0 players in the highlighted star players, and our board have a little guess what they want from us this season. That's right, become an established Premier League team. 5 seasons in the Premier League now. Outstanding. We're so good. We're so good at this football malarkey. We also, of course, had a Community Shield to deal with at the beginning of the season, and we lost to Tottenham again. And then we lost the UEFA Super Cup to Tottenham. Tottenham are still mad we beat them in the FA Cup. They're going to die mad about it. It's fine. Let's go to January and see where we're at. And I'm not quite sure you're ready to see January because we're top of the table with 51 points on goal difference from Manchester United. I don't know how they've got back into the top 2 either, but it's 10 points in goal difference separating us. And after we've signed all their rejects, we've now rebuilt with young players, and we're holding off the Manchester United's revival, staying top of the table. Things are going very, very well for us. We're also doing well in the cup competitions, but let's talk about some transfers. So I've sold Victor Osimhen to Real Betis for £300,000. He wasn't playing, and money is money. I also sold one of my young prospects, Alexander Donovan, to Manchester United for £1.1 million. I didn't think he looked good enough to ever get in our team, and his loan spells at Oxford and Birmingham have done nothing to tell me otherwise. So now Manchester United are not just trailing us in the league, they're buying our rejects. We should also talk about the Japanese striker Mohamed Al-Muhaidib, who we have had for a few years now. He's been out on loan every season, and our coaches don't fancy him for some reason. I think he's still developing, and he's had a few loans since he joined us, but he scores goals everywhere he goes and is slowly getting better, and I think has that late bloomer potential. So we're keeping him around, and just keep an eye on him. Just keep an eye on him is what I will say. But we need to go to the end of the season now and see if we can hold on to the title. And I'm not saying this is the closest title race in history, but Preston North End in the year 2033 are, for the first time in 142 years, the champions of England on goal difference from Manchester United. And let's talk about how close this was, because played 38, won 24, drew 8, lost 6, scored 68. I could be reading Manchester United record. We've beaten them because we conceded 6 less goals than them all season. Everything else is identical. You could not have a closer title race if you tried. And you actually have to feel a little bit bad for Spurs, who finished 3 seasons behind us and in the Spursiest way possible after denying us all those trophies. Essentially, what has cost them is that they have lost one game that we didn't over the course of the season, but they've also scored, 15 more goals than us or Manchester United, and they've only conceded 8 goals more than us. Their goal difference is better. It really has been an odd goal somewhere that has cost them the title on goal difference, which is incredible. It really was a 3-way fight for the title. You could not imagine a close-up Premier League season. But we also made it to the League Cup final, where we lost 2-0 to Chelsea. And you know how I was talking about Preston being double winners? Well, welcome to the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain, where Preston are playing for the first time ever, and Almala opens the scoring after 14 minutes, because apparently I've created a monster, because we didn't stop there. There's half an hour on the clock at this stage, as we just play like prime Barcelona. And, well, I guess you can kind of see where this is going because these highlights take forever. But, yeah, Almala had a second. Just a casual 2 goals in a Champions League final. Oh, but it keeps going. We again build from the back. Just before half-time, referee's got the whistle in his mouth. Almala goes out wide for Soloshov. Soloshov goes on a run, puts it back across goal, and yeah, that was Almala getting his hat-trick in the first half of the Champions League final. And usually this is where I would stick in a bit of a stop, they're already dead reference, but Araujo set up Almala for a 4th goal in the Champions League final, and Preston North End are the champions of Europe, winning 4-0 with 4 goals from a left winger that, need I remind you, we signed for nothing from Köln, and the game doesn't even particularly think is that good. So Preston North End are double winners, winning the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season. In case you were wondering, we didn't make it to the FA Cup final because we went out in the quarter-final to West Ham. Our Champions League run, for those of you who are curious about such things, started with a 1-1 draw against Celtic. We then beat PAOK Saloniki 7-1 away from home, beat Real Madrid 2-1 at home, before we casually beat Barcelona 4-2 at Camp Nou. We then beat Arsenal 1-0 at home, Sturm Graz 5-0 away from home, Ajax 2-1 at home. Then we rounded things off by losing 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. But we were pretty much over the group stage by then because we had a round of 16 tie against Juventus where we lost 3-0 at the Allianz. So we had to smash them 6-0 at Deepdale, with Martin Araujo getting a casual 4 goals there. We then drew Bayern in the quarterfinal, where we drew 1-1, and then beat them 2-1 at Deepdale, which took us to a semi-final against Manchester City, which we won 2-0 at the Etihad and 4-1 at Deepdale. When I tell you we've created a monster here, we've created an absolute monster of a team here. If we have a look at our first team, just in terms of average rating, since that's where it landed, Mathieu Thiaw, our 21-year-old right-back, is on a 7.48 average rating after 47 appearances for us this season, and he's not even anywhere near his prime yet. Ivan Solojov at 7.43, again, not even peaked yet at 22, 35 appearances. And if we look at goals, well, Martin Araujo has 22 goals, 3 assists, a 7.1 off 40 games. El Mala, 16 goals in 53 off the left wing, just shy of a 7 average rating. Dragan Vasilievich, 30 goal contributions in 53 games for a 7.12. And Jane Dans, who has made 54 appearances this season, 14 goals, 10 assists, most of them off the wing, it does have to be said, still a 6.94. And even Topalovic has managed to get 51 appearances and 25 goal contributions. This team is, frankly, I've got a lot of players here who aren't at the club. We can get rid of those. You can see just how impressive it is. This team is abuse to the Premier League. It is not okay at all. And you're probably wondering what our budget is for season number 9 as we go into the next season, which I can't find because it's been a while since it was set. I'm going to have to do it the old way, in fact, because it's been that long since it was set. The budget was 6.5 million. I have done a little bit of transfer business ahead of time. There are some players coming in. I don't know if they're going to show this screen or this screen for this season. They're not. There is a player coming in that I've already sorted out. Here it is. Honor Gershoy is coming in, a Belgian joining us from AZ Alkmaar, international of 48 caps, 23 years old, centre-back that can play right-back. And you're probably wondering, why are you not telling us this as part of your transfer? What's the update for Season 9, you idiot? Why are you getting sidetracked? Remember how I was saying in the intro that Preston achieved 2 things that made them the biggest club in England at the start of English League football? They were the first champions, the first team to win a double. They were also the first team to go invincible. Now, I've got 2 seasons left. I gave myself 10 seasons. I don't think I can go invincible. So I'm going to call time on this after season 8. But this save is up on Patreon. You can access it through my Patreon. I think this is possibly the best team I've ever assembled on Football Manager. And I think the last great team I assembled, the final Wroxham team from FM24, I thought might be the greatest team ever assembled on Football Manager, and I think this team is better. So I'm going to challenge you to take this team over and try and go invincible. I'm going to give you 10 seasons of your own to try and go invincible with this team. I think it's possible, but I thought I'd let you have the fun and let me know in the comments how that goes. So, at this point, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff if you are new around here. Even if you're not new around here, like 90% of you aren't subscribed. And frankly, I think this rebuild is probably worth a like and a subscribe because it's been unreal. Thank you for watching, guys. I've been Chasing Lamely. Till next time, stay safe and have a good one.